Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all already know who this is. This is Ron the fucking Don. Today, I wanted to speak about the cancel culture. Cancel culture is finally being used against the left, the far left, actually. That's what I want to talk about in this video today, about cancel culture being used against the far left, against people that is supporting Palestine in their conflict with Israel. This conflict has caused a lot of commotion, emotion, issues, everything. And cancel culture now is being used against the left. Now the conservatives are using it against the left. The conservatives throughout since the whole pandemic, the past few years, cancel culture has been used from the left to going against the conservatives. Now, like Malcolm X said, the chickens has finally came home to roost, and now the conservatives are using cancel culture against them. What they say, payback's a bitch, right? Payback's a bitch. You know, and the left is finally getting a taste of their own medicine. However, I just wish that it was a different issue and a different topic instead of this one, because on this issue, the far left is actually right. They have every right to support Palestine. I support free speech in any way, shape, or form, no matter how much I disagree with it, agree or disagree with it, as long as you're not hurting people. Now, when you start terrorizing people, committing terrorist attacks, and doing mass shootings and other devious, mischievous crimes to get your point across, that's when you cross the line. And boundaries have to be set. Now, when you cross that line, you should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, no matter what side of the political aisle you on. No matter you are far left or far right, in the middle, upstream, downstream, mainstream. No matter what your political views is, when you start crossing the line, you should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And now, but yeah, I digress. But anyway, the left has every right to support Palestine because technically and historically, Palestine Palestine, the West Bank, Gaza was originally belonged to Palestine, and before 1948. It was either 1948 or 1943. One of those, like somewhere in the 1940s is when historically speaking, I'm being historical. I'm using base facts here. I'm not supporting either side. I'm just using base facts. So don't get upset at me. Don't try to put a strike on my channel or nothing. I'm just using base facts. It's somewhere in either 1943 or 1948 that Israel has occupied Gaza. Has occupied Palestine and took and annexed the majority of their land, and now the majority of that land belongs to Israel. They even took control of the West Bank and Gaza in 1967 throughout the 70s. They also annexed Gaza as well, West Bank. So throughout history, stating facts, Israel has took control and occupied parts of the majority of Gaza. This is in the history books. So I agree that they have every right to support Palestine. However, they say on the Israel's perspective, speaking from their perspective, from which is pretty much more of a biblical perspective, something I don't know much about. Is it something happened in biblical times that made them an event that happened in biblical times that made them believe that Israel is originally their land. So I don't know much about what happened during those times, so I can't even speak on it. So whatever event occurred during biblical times is why they believe that Israel is their land. So just stating the facts. So I can't state facts from that perspective because I don't know much about what happened during biblical times, and I'm not a pastor or a priest or whatever. So I'm gonna leave it at that. So that is what happened, and now ever since then, now cancel culture is being used against the left because of freedom of speech. That's why I always agreed to freedom of speech, no matter what side you want. That's why I always agreed to freedom of speech. But now the left is an issue. The left have an issue of cancel culture and freedom of speech being used against them now. See, now I don't agree with the freedom of speech being banned and censored because of freedom of speech in any way, shape, or form. And now a lot of these students may not be able to obtain jobs at these big banks of Wall Street because they support Palestine. I don't agree that's right. But however, that's what happens when you use tactics against people, and now they seizing the opportunity to use those same tactics against you. That's why I was always against freedom of speech, and the left should have never used freedom of speech. Should have never censored freedom of speech in no way, shape, or form to begin with. Because classic liberals like myself, I was a classic liberal back during the Bush years. So we always believed in freedom of speech. But the liberals of the progressives of this time, of this era, don't. But now it's being used against them. That's why I've always agreed that you shouldn't censor freedom of speech. But that's what happens when you use dirty tactics, and now those tactics are being used against you. So I guess I call it ace a ace, spade a spade. I don't support freedom of speech, censorship of freedom of speech in any way, shape, or form on either side of the political aisle. So I guess both sides are wrong. Republicans and conservatives definitely use it when it comes to wartime, and this is where I disagree with the conservatives on. When it comes to the wartime, at least the neo-conservatives like George Bush types or whatever. But anyway, that'll conclude my video. And you like this video, hit like, subscribe, and comment, and we can engage in a discussion. All right? Take it easy, y'all, and I'll catch you on my next video. Peace.